tonight we wanted to jump on here and talk about differences and how differences do not have to divide, right? Differences do not have to divide. And, typically we do a video. We do a video every single Saturday, Sunday, and every single Saturday, Sunday, we do this video, and it's called Living on the Edge. And we just get on there and talk about life, our life specifically, right? And just hopefully that it blesses you, people who watch it and share it out and all that good stuff. So instead of doing a video today, we want to get a little bit more transparent. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And get on here.
Edits.
Yeah, there's no edits.
He always cuts my silliness out.
Yeah, so you getting all the real, the raw, and the uncut. You getting all that stuff. So here it is. Look, I was listening to Eric Thomas. Many of you know who Eric Thomas, motivational, inspirational speaker. And Eric Thomas made a statement. He said, "Differences do not have to divide. Differences do not have to divide." And honey, when I saw the comment, I was like, wow, that comment was so profound. Because the thing that I know, that you know, that we know, and many of you on watching live right now know, is that differences, regardless of the way we look at them, differences have a way of dividing. They divide people, they divide, races, they divide cultures. Differences divide people. And the thing that we see in our lives specifically is what E.T. said. What E.T. said is so true. Your differences don't have to divide. In fact, differences can be a strength. So we wanted to get on here tonight. We wanted to share and just be transparent, like we always are with you all. Share a little bit about the things that we see from a differences perspective, but also talk about how those differences that we see aren't necessarily a bad thing, a negative thing, but they can be a strength. Let's go ahead and go there. Can we go there just for a minute? Because we want to jump up and make this worth everybody's while. I know specifically for us as an interracial couple, and it's funny because we kind of forgot that we're an interracial couple. We've kind of been together
you forget.
for so long. We don't think about things like that. But I know many times the first time people see my wife and I, the first thing that they think of, they say, oh, well, he's black and she's white. And that goes through many people's mind, their head, whether they say it or not. Like, we've forgotten about it. We don't even really think about it. It's not like I go up to people and I'm like, yo, what's up, dog? How you doing? My name is Phillip.
This is my white.
My wife is white. You know what I'm saying? And she doesn't do the same thing and say, hey, my husband's black. And that's real. Honey, will you tell them the story? Let's be real. Tell them the story about, you had been hired for a specific position, and when we got to that specific job, and you met your new boss, if you will, about what the boss actually said to you, and let's talk about that, because those are differences that people see and they're real, but nobody really wants to talk about them. So we are going there tonight. Now,
gonna talk about it.
Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about it. So before we say anything, if you really want to go there with us, do me a favor real quick. Share this out on your Facebook page. Share this out to all your friends, your followers, your constituents, all your people, because we are going there tonight, and it's as they say, it's about to go down. We've been waiting for this all day long, and it is definitely about to go down. Honey, tell them about the situation, and this is how we're gonna start this thing off. Get spicy and juicy early.
Before I tell the story, let me just say this.
All right.
When you take two like things, two numbers, and you subtract them from each other, you get what's called a difference, right? Mm-hmm. That's the difference between two numbers. So basically, what you're doing is you're taking what's similar, and then the difference is what's left over. And so we got to start looking at the differences as the extra stuff. That's the good stuff, because that's where the opportunity is. But so many times people see the difference as something negative, right?
Right.
And that's what this situation was. So I started this new job and I started really having problems. Okay. We moved from the Midwest to the South where we are now. Okay. And so there's just some cultural differences. It is what it is. So we moved to this little small town. And I was in a fairly visible, kind of prominent type position in the community. And immediately I started having some issues. Some parents were making comments basically that because of my relationship, that I was not a good example for children. And so it started to cause some issues for me and for my family. And it was a whole high stress level type thing. And so basically I had to sit down with my boss, who he didn't have a problem with any of my work performance. I mean, everything was on par, above par, good to go. But he said to me, he said, I wouldn't have put you through all this if I had known. And I was like, had known what? He was like, we never would have hired you.
Wow.
Had we known that you were married to a Black man.
Wow.
Because I know what that's going to put you through. And now this came from a Caucasian gentleman who actually had a sister who was in an interracial relationship. And so I think his intention obviously was, very pure in what he said. But he totally went there with it and said they never would have hired me had they known. And when we first moved into our new location, we were unpacking things, and my dad and Phillip were driving the moving truck. And when we got to where we were going, we pulled in and everything. Some people who had been part of my hiring had showed up to our new apartment that they got for us and everything. And we're unpacking. And literally, they thought, because of this, that my husband was the moving guy.
I was the hired help, y'all.
He was the hired.
I was the hired help, y'all.
But I'm gonna tell you, the pay was really good. He got to be with all this. But yes, so these are some real life experiences that we've had. I mean, going all the way back to Virginia.
Yeah.
Going to eat at Bojangles, something simple. So,
hey, listen, hold
on.
So we're going into Bojangles. We're going into Bojangles in Virginia, and we're just doing our thing. Remember what I said? We don't even look at us being.
We don't recognize the differences.
It's obviously there, but it's not something that we consciously think about. So going into Bojangles, I was hungry. She was hungry. Our son Trey was hungry. All we wanted to do was to get something to eat. So
we wanted some chicken.
That's all we wanted. We wanted the chicken, right? So we go into chicken, and the lady, behind the counter, she says, "Would you like white meat or dark meat?" And then she says, I guess I already know. Apparently you want white meat. And I'm like, well, actually, I did kind of want the white meat, right? I wanted the breast meat. That's what I wanted. You know what I'm saying? But just for her to come out and to ask that question, it obviously was an issue for her. She didn't even know why it was an issue for her. She's looking and saying, your differences are a problem for me, even though the differences are not a problem for us. And last I checked, we were the ones who was married, right? Like we're the one. Like, I'm not in her house. I'm not paying her bills or any of that.
Not messing with her.
I don't even know this lady, but she was so concerned enough that she had to ask the question whether I wanted white meat or dark meat, and then she all of a sudden figured out, well, I already know what you want because of what she saw in my wife, which is crazy. So when we look at stuff like this, these are real differences that people see on the outside. But let me ask the question. Do the differences really have to divide?